Okay. Hey guys, I just got done reviewing the Turthear Nova and I was morbidly disappointed by it. Now, the only reason why I bought these is because if you use the foam tips, it's supposed to give you a really smooth treble that's very well tuned with like a treble tilt, a downward treble tilt. But when I used them, I was having all these tonality problems. They were extremely shouty around 5K, and the treble above 5K was rolled off extensively. So I was getting this very dark, shouty sound. And when I pushed them in deeper into my ears, it warmed up the sound. They sounded less shouty, but they were still a little bit shouty at 5K, and the treble sounded veiled, like a little bit rolled off. And it turned out there's actually ridges on the earbuds that you're supposed to put them on ridge 1, not ridge 2, the foam tips, because if you put them on ridge 2, it rolls off the treble. So let's look at this. So this is the Nova Turthear. Okay, so and this is the foam tip. Now, it's really hard to see, but there's actually a ridge here. You see the ridge? There's two ridges. And you're supposed to put the foam tip on the first ridge, not the second one, because if you push it all the way in, it will kill the treble. It will roll off the treble. So you're supposed to put them on pretty much barely, not all the way on. Okay? And so just the first ridge, so they're basically barely on. Okay, if you push them in all the way like this is ridge 2, and you have successfully just killed the treble. Okay, so you're supposed to pull them out some, which is kind of stupid, but that's how they design these. Okay, so if we look at the other one, is the other one on ridge 2? No. Looks like it's on ridge 2, yeah, instead of ridge 1. So it's hard to see, but one's pushed all the way in and one's not. So we're going to look at some measurements again, and then you're supposed to deep insert them into your ear. Press them in deep, which is concerning because then you would think it would press this into ridge 2 as well, which would ruin the sound. This is very convoluted and stupid. They need to redesign this, to be honest with you. So now we're going to look at the measurements for all of this, okay? So let's go to Squiglink. Okay, so this is the Nova with like the wrong ear tips. The ones with the what are they called? They're not the flanges. They're not the foam. They're the silicone. So this is the silicone measurement of the Nova, and obviously this is terrible. Now if we look at some of these measurements I got here, I got the Nova deep insert first ridge, shallow insert first ridge, shallow insert second ridge. So if you shallow insert them into your ears, they're going to be very shouty. So let's shouty. Okay, so this is, insert first ridge, shallow. Okay, so it's very shouty at 5-6K. Okay, now second ridge, it's darker. Okay, and less shouty. Okay. Now if we do the deep insert first ridge, it's that. So the orange one, or let's get rid of this one. So these are all the foams with first ridge and deeper insert, and the green one is what we're trying to achieve. The green one has the least shout. I'm going to go to pictures, screenshots, all files, and we look at this, open. Okay. So what we're trying to do here, what we're trying to achieve with this, let's do purple. We're trying to achieve the yellow one. I mean the green one, the green line. So the green line, you know, looks like this. Okay, so it has the least amount of shout and the least amount of treble roll off. So this is what I was dealing with. I was, you know, pushing them deeper into my ears, which was getting rid of a lot of the 5-6K shout, but the treble was still rolled off in the highs. And that's because I was on the second ridge here, which is the yellow, which is the darkest in the treble here. Okay, so we want the green line, which is on the first ridge, as well as a deep insert. Deep insert gets rid of the shout. So again, if we look at this in green, the green one, we want deep insert on the first ridge. Okay, and that will give us the least amount of shout and the most amount of treble. Okay, so I hope you can see this, that you know, let's just use yellow, pink. Let's use pink. So we don't want all this shout, and we don't want all this treble veil. We want this very specific deep insert on the first ridge. So let's go back and look at this. So again, this is kind of conflicting on how this is going to be. So we want basically the foam barely on the nozzle, and then we want to deep insert this into our ear. Now when you press it in to deep insert it, I think we have to worry about it going to ridge 2 by being pressed in too hard. But this will actually give you a extremely, you know, linear downward tilt, so I'm learning from this. You know, I'm learning, you know, the 5K shout problem, and I'm learning the treble veil problem in the review that I made. You know, so yeah, these change in sound drastically based on these subtle little things. This is a bunch of bullshit, to be honest with you. And I still recommend you should get the EM6Ls, because you don't have to deal with all this crap. So let's look at the EM6Ls again compared to optimal usage. So we want the green line. So let's get rid of this and this. So, you know, we could just buy the EM6L and so the EM6L in red. It's a much warmer, brighter sound, but it sounds just as good as optimally using the Nova foam deep insert on ridge 1. So they sound just as good, except, you know, this is kind of bullshit. Having to have them deeply inserted, or they sound shouty, and also on the first ridge, or they sound veiled and dark. So, you know, the worst case scenario using this Nova would be, you know, not pushed in enough, and, you know, the foam pushed to second ridge completely on. That would be maximum shouty, maximum veil, and you wouldn't get this sound signature. While the EM6L, you know, sounds amazing. You just put them in your ears. You don't have to get special foam tips or anything. And you just get a perfect sound, a warmer, brighter sound, but you get a perfect sound. So honestly, I think both of these sound signatures are really, really freaking good. And this is kind of like a tolerance of, you know, how much mid bass you can have and how much treble you can have. So yeah, I think the treble tilt on this is perfectly fine. And I think the mud scoop is fine as well. It's just, this is a lot more tedious to use, and like it's falling out of my ear because, you know, all this crap. Yeah, you're supposed to like Apparently with the foam tips, you're supposed to like squeeze it, the squeeze method, to kind of shrink it down and then ram it into your ears before it expands again. Okay, that seems to have worked. And let's do it on this side too, so it's big and puffy, and then you squeeze it, and then you ram it into your ears before it expands again, and then it'll expand. Okay, so I should get maximum sound quality out of this. So I'm gonna keep these. These are really good. Testing. Okay, these are really good. These are really good. These are testing the microphones. I think this microphone right here, testing the microphones. Testing the microphones. I think this channel is a little bit. Testing the microphones. Okay, I think that channel got nudged over a little bit, but now it should be okay. Kind of, sort of. Testing the microphones. Okay. So that's it for this video. Yeah. Results may vary, but that's how you use these things.